Hello and welcome for the first time to my channel. This is Nico. First of all, I'm trying to not make this video too long because I don't want to get you bored. So even though I asked for 5 OCs in this first video, I'm going to be drawing the first 2 OCs I received. The past February 4th, I posted a story where I asked my followers to send me their OCs to draw them in my style, in a video, because this is the celebration of my I don't know the word, followers on Instagram, yay! That's why I wanted to do something special this time. Also, I'll answer the 2 questions I got from the story. I honestly thought I was gonna flop. 2 questions are actually a lot to me, love. So let's begin. The first OC I received was from my mood Mar, Kazu guy on Instagram, you can find her there. He's kind, and the definition I got for him was that he's sassy, playful, and sarcastic. I wanted to keep that vibe for him, so I went for a playful pose. Something like, oh, I'm very bratty, but I'll sit as an angel for you. I don't know if you get it, but I got it in the moment. As you can see there, even though I forgot to record the first sketch, I tend to do 2 sketches. The first one is to understand what I'm trying to do, and the second one is to have more clarity so my liner can look more clean. Sometimes I end up using the second sketch as the liner, but if it looks too messy, I do another layer of liner over that one until I get satisfied with it. The first question was, how did you get into drawing? It's very curious actually, because I was just checking my artistic journey all this time, all these years, 10 years to be exact. When I was little, my biggest dream was to become one of those cool, talented and famous artists from Facebook. I like to draw, but I didn't have a goal that told me like, yeah, go for everything, become big. It was more of a hobby actually. I took like 3 days in an art academy and I dropped it right away. The largest moment I drew in that time was like for school homeworks, presentations and stuff like that. Until I told myself I wanted to become big for the first time in my life. That's when everything started for me actually. I could say the next things were like little motivations coming from that first one. Making manga, still drawings. Those dreams came one for one until the present day, and actually I kinda have the same dreams, just like in different forms. The first thing I tend to paint in is the blush on the face, because I somehow feel like if I do it after the shadow, it will mess with the shadow and look weird. For the shadows, I like to pick a tone of shadow a little far from the color base. And to have more contrast, this tone has to be closer to the gray black. I think it looks like pretty in that way. Oh, so we finally reached this part, the hair. I struggled so much with the hair. I didn't know how to add shadows to it. I actually struggle a lot when it comes to hair. I think I could improve that. I don't like the hair to look too detailed, but I like it to look detailed too, so it's very conflicting. Like you can't even see it there. I don't know what to do with my life with the hair. I was struggling so much, but at the end I could like find something appealing to my eyes. I'm not very good at shading the clothes, but I have to say this time I cooked. It looks too good. Like, look at the bubbles. It looks very nice. I didn't usually add too much detail to the eyes, but I like to add these little details no one gets because they are too little. And after all the shading, I start rendering the hair, the clothes, the skin, and that's likely the last part of the drawing. For the hair, just like the shadows, I tend to use a color a little far away from the base color. For example, Kaito's hair is blue, so I use a purple or a pink or a sky blue, but more usually the colors from the right. And I don't like to give it like a light color. I used to use like a saturated color to make the hair look more vivid. And now guys, you are going to see my secret recipe, and it's called hard mix. I tend to use a pink or a red or a purple. I add it over the drawing and use the hard mix in lower opacity to make it look more vivid. And that's my secret recipe. I do that a lot of times. And this is the final. This type of character, I like it a lot because I like the bratty vibes. And now let's start with the other one. This OC is from my another mood of mine called Hango in Instagram. You can search her. She told me this character is mysterious and nonchalant, and she doesn't express her emotion a lot. Also, she is inspired by Arlecchino from Genshin Impact, so I could get like her vibes from that. I wanted to give her this shady expression and also vulnerable pose because even though the other orphans tend to look at her like scary and very mysterious, also she's an orphan, and I wanted to keep that like in mind. I like to draw her face because I love so much the slanted eyes, and I love her expression also because, well, she doesn't have expression after all, and that looks cute. Also, I enjoy drawing her hair because I felt like it looked too dynamic. Because I wanted to draw the hair receiving the wind and flowing under her head, you know, like very flowy and cute and pretty. The other question was what inspires you to draw? And I think I already answered this because my first motivation was to draw manga. And I wanted to keep that to myself, like in my head. I want to draw manga, I want to draw manga. But I think what inspires me the most actually in this very moment, it's the support I have been receiving from you and all the people around me. I think that inspires me a lot. Also, I think that it's very important to me to like something that I can draw. Like this time with Genshin Impact, I get very obsessed with the characters, even though I already played Genshin Impact from the very beginning, like in 2021. But this time I got very obsessed with the characters, and somehow it gave me like a lot of inspiration to draw and do things. I also like this female rage vibe a lot, even though I don't draw it very much, very often because I don't tend to draw original content. But I would like to try it more because that inspires me a lot, that concept. I didn't add too much blush to her face because I thought like the blush was going to wipe away all this shady vibe, this mysterious vibe of the character. So even though I like to add blush in everything, even in my face, I try to not to do it this time. This time I feel like I didn't struggle that much with the shading because I had a more clear idea of how to do it. With Kaito, I didn't have idea actually. It was very hard, but this time I was shading more confidently, and that's why it was very smooth. If you are still watching, and this time I have to thank you a lot for all the support you have given me, and it makes me so happy. I'm very grateful with everyone that it's making my dreams come true. I'm sorry if I don't have the talent or like the skill doing videos. It's my very first time. I'm very embarrassed. I'm not a camera person. And also, I'm so sorry for my pronunciation because I, I never talk in English, to be honest. But even though I have to thank you a lot, sincerely, thank you so much. Another thing I do is to duplicate the layer of the liner, put it down after the base of the liner, and use the filter blur. In if it's paint, it's called the filter blur. But I think in other sites as Clip Studio Paint, it's just blur. And I use it a lot because I think it makes look the liner not too simple, and I like that. For this drawing, I wanted to add a shadow to give her more mysterious vibe to her character. With the shadow on her face and the sun over her head, I thought that would look cool. And also, I added lighting and to give more ambience to the drawing, to the character. And of course, I had to use my secret recipe, the hard mix layer, and use a lot of colors until I find the one that suits more to the drawing. I wanted to add this part to show how I was struggling adding saturation. And this is it. Thank you so much again to Dodo to give me her OC to make this video. I'm very grateful. So this is the end. Thank you so much for watching this to the very end. I have to remind you to find me on my socials, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, and also in my Patreon. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you so much. Goodbye and see you again soon.